Welcome everybody to another video of Python programming. In this video, we are just going to continue talking about operators in Python. In the previous video, we discussed about Python operators, and we just said that we have gotten many types of operators, and we are going to study 4 of them in this class. And we discussed about arithmetic operators and assignment operators. And just simply here, we have to just say that if you are going to take IGCSE exams, IGCSE or just EDXL prefers using the simple assignment operators. That's it, okay? Then now we're just going to talk about the third type of operators that we are going to study in this class, okay? Which is relational operators or comparison operators. As known from the name, okay, it is just going to compare, or they are just used to compare values. Then we have gotten two equal signs, okay, to compare for comparison or to check for comparison. And we have gotten not equal, okay, to check if things are just not equal, larger, smaller, larger equal, and smaller equal, okay. So we have gotten that. We just use comparison or relational operators to create conditions, okay. We have gotten if programming, that if this condition is true, do this other thing, okay. So for them we use comparison operators. Comparison operators always evaluate to a Boolean, true or false. It means whenever you just use them, you just compare two nouns to be equal, not equal, or one of them larger than another, or whatever, okay. If that comparison was true, it will just evaluate to a true. It means it will just give the output as a true. Otherwise, if that was not true, it will just give you a false, okay. And because it is just true and false, in selection structurals and in the repetition, we use comparison operators, okay, in things like if, elif, or in while loops, okay, we use them. Next videos we will be just discussing about each one of them in detail, and you will just understand them better, okay. For now, we are just going to see what comparison operators do, and what do we mean when we just say that they evaluate to true or false, okay. So think of having two values, a is equal to 9 and b is equal to 12, okay, or 13. So we have gotten that one. Now see, I'll just print a equal b, okay. I'll just output that. Then I'll also just print a not equal to b, okay. Then print a is larger than b, or for example print a is smaller than b, print a is larger equal to b, and the last one, print a is smaller equal to b, okay. So see, we have gotten these things, and now as we just told you, they evaluate to true or false based on the fact if the comparison we are doing is true or false, okay. So let's execute this, and as we can see here, okay, for those values, so the first one, okay, that is a equal to b, so that is not equal, okay, so it has just given us false. Then is a not equal to b, so obviously they are not equal, it has just given us true, okay. Is a larger than b, okay, so that is not true, that is false, okay. A is smaller, and after that we have gotten if a is smaller than b, that has just given us true. Is a larger or equal to b, okay, so no, that is not equal and that is not larger, so that is false. And the last one, is a smaller or equal to b, so obviously that is smaller. So as you can see, comparison or relational operators always evaluate to true or false, okay. And the other fact that we have gotten to discuss here is we can compare numbers, that is true, okay. We can also compare strings, okay. And in comparing strings, Python compares the ASCII code of different variables, okay. For example, print, if I just write something like David, okay, is larger than, if that is this kind of, okay, larger than Catherine, okay. So in ASCII code of D comes after ASCII code of C. Okay, so that's why David is larger than Catherine. Okay, so that is like 3, 4, 5. Okay, so that is C, D. Okay, so D comes after C, so that is David is larger. If the first letters are equal, it means that is also D, and if this one is also D, then yeah, it will just simply compare the second word, okay, like a dictionary. So if I just run this, you can just see that here again, um, it just gave as true. Okay, so if I just change the operator here, so that is David is smaller than Catherine, and I execute this, so yeah, we have just gotten false there. We can compare them for equality. Is David equal to Catherine? So if I just run that again, I'll just receive false there. Okay, so that is all about comparison operators or relational operators. Okay, the next type of the operator, or the fourth one, is logical operators or Boolean. Okay, so see here, logical operators, mostly we do not have only one criteria based on which we will decide whether to do something or not. Many times there are just many conditions, two conditions, three conditions, that yeah, as a result of all of them, we will just simply decide whether to do something or not. Okay, so when we want to combine more than two conditions, okay, more than one conditions, okay, two or three, four conditions, we have to just use a logical operator between each one of them. Okay, so logical operators are used to securely link multiple criteria or invert an existing Boolean outcome. Okay, so we have gotten three logical operators: and, or, and not. And fires true only if both individual sides evaluate true. So that is like talking true. If I'm just telling you that yeah, if you are older than 18 years old and your height is larger than 160 centimeters, then yeah, you can enter the pool. So there, yeah, because I just added and between both of them have to be true. Okay, only that is the way to just get true as a result. Then we have got an or. Okay, or fires true if at least one single side evaluates to true. So this or this, it means if both of them are true, true. If one of them is true, again just we will have true there. Okay, and not is an inversion operator, simply that flips true to false or false to true. And we have gotten something by the name of truth table to just show or to evaluate more how does it work. Okay, so if we have gotten input A and input B, okay, and after that we have gotten the condition between both of them, okay, A and B. So just think about A is one comparison operator, the B is just another, and A results in false and B results in false too. So we'll have false. See, A is false, B is true. So one of them is true, but again we have gotten false here. The reason is because we have gotten A and B. Okay, A is true, B is false, again false. The only way the A and B just evaluates to true is if A and B both are true. Okay, so that is truth table of AND. Then truth table of OR. So see here, the first one is false, the second one is false, then A or B is false. Other than that, just only if one is true, we will just simply evaluate to true. Okay, so false and true, false or true, that will be true. True or false will be true. True or true will be just true. So in or, the only way that or evaluates to false is if both conditions are false. Okay, and we have gotten just not A, so input, if that is false we have gotten true, if that is true we have gotten false. Okay, so that is just kind of what we have here. So let's just work on that. Okay, for example, we say age is equal to any number, for example 19, and for example we say gender, okay, is for example, yeah, we can say this female. Okay, so think about this. Okay, for example, there is any scholarship for girls who are over 18, okay, 18 plus, and simply yeah, if they are girls, their gender is female. Okay, so see, If I just write something like this, for example, print, okay, and I just say that if age is larger than 18, and between them I just write their end, okay, and gender is equal to female, okay, and if I just run this, yeah, that evaluates to true, okay. Let's just let me just make the previous one comment, okay, let me comment this out, then yeah, here, okay, so that became true because the first one is also true, age is larger than 18, and gender is also female, okay. If I just change one of them, for example, I just make it 16, okay, so now the first one will be false and the second one will be true. So as and, it should just evaluate to false. As you can see, yeah, it evaluated to false, okay. If one only condition that it evaluates to true is if both of them are true, okay. And what if I just make it or, okay, if I just simply make it or, then yeah, only one of them, if it's true, the other one is false as well, no problem. So here, as you can see, this one will evaluate to false because age is not larger than 18, so that will be false. But this one, okay, this will be true. So false or true should evaluate to true. So as you can see, it evaluated to true, okay. So that is this kind of and or and the next thing that here we are just going to discuss about is not, okay. So let's just use only one of them, okay, to just make it clear. So I'll just put it inside a bracket, and outside the bracket, simple, I'll just write there not, okay. So age larger than 16, so 18, so age is 16 right now, 16 is not larger than 18, so this will evaluate to false. And because we have just added a not there, not false will be true. So as you can see here, yeah, it became true. So let's just make it true. For example, I'll just add there 20. So now the condition is true, but because we have just added not there, true will change to false, okay. And the final thing that yeah we will have from this is false. Clear? So that is and, or, and not, okay. I hope this is very clear for you, okay. Although just it makes this video a little bit lengthy, but again, operator precedence in programming is the same like math, okay. When you have many operators in Python just simply uses big mouse, okay. So you have to just be careful about that. The first brackets will just be executed, then after that exponent or power, then after that the division and multiplication, okay. So we have gotten division, multiplication, integer division, and modulus. Then after that, yeah, addition and subtraction, okay. Then after that, if you have gotten any relational operator, will be just done after that, okay. Comparison operators. Then logical. In logical, just remember this, okay. First not will run, then and will run, and after that or will run, okay. So just you have to remember that. Just a very simple example I'll just give you here, okay. 10 plus 10, sorry, okay, 10 plus 10 multiplied by 10, okay. If I just run this, the output for this will be 110. Why? Because just yeah, multiplication is done before addition. So first it will be multiplied, 10 times 10 will be 100, and after that 10 plus 100 will be 110, okay. So we have just gotten 110 here. If I want the addition to be done first, then I'll have to just encapsulate it inside a bracket, because just the precedence of bracket is just kind of higher, okay. So now if I just run it, it will be 200, because first bracket will be just done, then after that, yeah, it will be multiplied to 10, okay. So 10 plus 10 will be 20, and 20 multiplied by 10 will be 200, okay. So that is all we have. 4 types of operators, and after that operators precedence, okay. That is it. Wish you all the best, good luck, and goodbye.